Hello friends and enemies, it's me Isabel here with your Q2 releases that I forgot to do in March. I promise Q3 will come in June. Like, I already put it in my content calendar. So this won't happen again, I promise. I'm gonna be on it for once in my life. But I want to talk about the books I'm excited for. Some of these I have arcs for, some I don't. All the things. You know, there's a lot to talk about coming out in the next quarter. And then, you know, we'll have like our lull eventually. I feel like I always fall off in the winter because I don't think there's a lot coming out, but I do have quite a bit, and some of it I've read and some of it I haven't read. Well, no, the one I read comes out in July. Dang it! Never mind, I take it back. I've started reading some of these, so I'll have some thoughts already, which is exciting. First up in April, we have Bewitched by Laura Thalassis. So I did read some of her Pestilence and like that series, and I liked it but didn't love it. But this one has my things, if that makes sense, which is why I got it. I did get an arc of this and I've started it and I'm already intrigued. This has my stuff. This is a romance fantasy type situation. This follows a girl who is at a magical college for witches and a hero who has been put to sleep by his wife for years, like decades, hundreds of years. And she's like flying over where he's buried and she hears him in her head and then goes and finds him and wakes him up. And like he's ready to extract revenge because he thinks she's his wife. I'm here for it. Listen, I'm very here for it. He's like some ancient power. I've read like the first chapter and I'm honestly just super intrigued and can't wait to finish this. This is right like in my wheelhouse for romance fantasy type stuff, like magic and just put, you know, all that stuff. Like, love it. So I'll be reporting back about it at some point in one of my vlogs, and probably at the end of April, because it's either going to be a hit or I'm going to hate it. So it's going to be on one end of the scale. It's going to show up. So yeah, I am excited. Again, magical school, college setting, things I just freaking love and want more of. So I'm excited about that. And I can't wait to see how this plays out for this character. Then I have The Fiancé Farce by Alexandria Bellefleur. This is her newest one. I've read one of her two, I don't know. I've read her before and I enjoyed it. It was fine. This one caught my attention because this follows someone who makes up a fake fiance who then turns up in real life. And I did get an arc of this from Libro FM because they do like their audio arc program if you're an influencer or a creator of a certain size. So I was able to get in on that a while ago, and being able to listen to this now, I'm very excited. I did also get an e-arc of this. So I will be listening to this probably this week before it comes out next week on the 18th. This though, I just think sounds so fun and funny, and it actually sounds like a rom-com. And from what I've heard, from who I know I've read it, it is kind of rom-com-y and it pays off on that promise. Whereas often I feel like we read these rom-coms and they're just not it. Like, they're so bad. So there's that. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I love this cover. I think it's really cute. I just think it's gonna be a fun time. I don't need a lot. Then we have on April 25th, the much anticipated Happy Place by Emily Henry. I got an arc of this as well from the Libro FM program, so I'm gonna read it. Like, it's just gonna happen. I feel like I have to read it. It will be in the zeitgeist of the end of the year nomination, so I'm just gonna pick it up ahead of time and read it. I have heard that this one is extremely sad, and I wouldn't say most of Emily Henry's books are very happy books, so I'm concerned. When lovers of her books are telling me this is extra sad, I'm concerned. So I do know loosely that this follows a couple who's like kind of broken up and separated and taking one last trip to this friend's lake house that they go to every summer. And it's, I guess, them rekindling their relationship. But I think it also focuses heavily on the rest of the friends and other things there. So I'll be curious to see what I think. I'm definitely not an Emily Henry like stan in any way. She is not my favorite. I've enjoyed her books, but I don't love her books, if that makes sense. Because for me, again, they hit that spot of being just right in between what I'm looking for, which is romance and not fiction. Not like just regular fiction. All right, and then on the 27th, we have Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. I'm pumped. I am pumped. After reading of Daughter of No Worlds book 1, and I'm continuing that series as soon as I get through like my mandatory reads this week, y'all, Y'all, this is an enemies to lovers vampire romance. I need more vampire romances in my life. I need more good vampire romances in my life. And the fact that she's sent to kill him, I'm in. I'm in. I'm just in. I need this immediately. I hope to God we get the dagger to the throat moment. I'm in. I trust Carissa after reading Daughter of No Worlds. I feel like she knows how to world build. I feel like she knows how to give me the balance. So I'm pretty much just pumped at the end of the day for this one. So we'll see how it is. I will be reading it probably as soon as it comes out. We're going to move into May. I'm noticing a trend already. We'll talk about it at the end. For May 2nd, we have The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I've seen this floating around on Book Talk. Seen it floating around with some other people I know have read it already, got arcs. And I'm intrigued. This is a dragon rider fantasy romance. Friends to lovers? Not my fave. But I'm intrigued enough because a lot of people I know have loved it. And I think it looks really interesting at the end of the day. So I'm curious enough that I'm going to be picking it up. This is where she wants to go to the school to like train for something different, and her mom's like the leader of warriors. And she convinces her daughter to go join the dragon riding school. And there's like limited dragons, and there's a lot of intrigue, and we're going to have a lot of like fantasy romancy stuff with like the fantasy bits, you know? Like we're going to get our romance, we're going to get our fantasy. I'm hopeful. I saw people who told me they don't read fantasy really romance at all. Loving this. So fingers crossed, y'all. Fingers fucking crossed that this is good. I'm really, really hopeful. Next, also it's fantasy college. So again, like I just love adult, like college, like fantasy school settings that are adults, like grown, over 18. Love it. Anyways, next we have A Crown of Glass and Ivy by Claire Legrand, another romance fantasy. This is her adult debut. I'm intrigued. I don't know if I'm going to love it. I'm seeing mixed reviews already. It follows Gemma, who is the first person in her family, or like the only person in her family, whatever, to not have magic. And then Talon, whose family like destroyed themselves to get power by like joining with demons. That's kind of all I know. I've not really read a ton about it because I kind of just want to go in not knowing a lot. But again, romance, fantasy, I'm interested. I am ready for a romance fantasy renaissance. I want more romance fantasy in my life. I feel like we are getting monsters. We're getting aliens really well done, but we're not getting the like mesh that I'm seeking, a la like Kushil's Dart, you know? Like I want that again, badly. All right, then on May 30th, we have Her Good Side by Rebecca Weatherspoon. This is a YA title. So on May 23rd, we have The Time I Got Drunk and Drugged a Dragon by Kimberly Lemming. So there's some weird stuff going on right now. It was supposed to come out in April. Tentatively, maybe is coming out May 23rd. Basically, Amazon, like her US publisher took over, and Amazon is being wonky with her. So she's working on it. We'll see. Either way, I'm really excited for this. I'm very curious to see how it is. I loved the other two books. They're such fun, cozy, cottagecore, you know, fantasies with romance elements, obviously, because I'm really excited for this. I'm excited to see what happens with it. I'll put up a cover if I can. I don't know right now if I can get a cover, but we're going to try. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. That is coming. It may come out earlier, but tentatively, I think she said the US release is going to be May 23rd. And this is her YA debut, so I'm really excited for her. I adore Rebecca Weatherspoon. I love her writing, so I'm in on this. So especially once I read the premise of this, I was like, oh, I need this. They decide to practice dating, and that leads to more. And I was just like, this sounds adorable. And also I feel like Rebecca is just really good at nailing tropes. So I know her YA book is going to deliver when it comes to that trope of practice dating and then falling in love. So I'm just pumped. I love this cover. It's adorable. Cannot wait. All right. And then we have An Island Princess Starts a Scandal by Adriana Herrera. This is the sequel to A Caribbean Heiress in Paris. This one is our sapphic release. I'm excited for that. She trades a summer with this duchess in her little corner of Paris to have her land on this island that she wants. Look, I love a deal. I love a forced proximity stuck together, and it's sapphic. I'm in. Like, it's just that simple. So I'm really, really excited to see where it goes. All right, let's move on to June. In June, we have Mortal Follies by Alexis Hall. This I'm really excited for. I do have an arc of it, and I will be reading it ahead of time. I went to pick it up multiple times, and I need to get out of my head and just pick the book up when I want to pick it up, no matter when it's coming out. But sometimes I'm like, oh, but then I like can't talk about it until that. Like, it's a whole thing. It's weird. I don't like that. But this is a sapphic fantasy historical setting. It's like 1800s. This is about a woman who's seeking help to get a curse removed that starts by her dress like unraveling at this high profile ball and just continues to up in like intensity. Give it to me. Again, romantic fantasy situation here. Give me. I need this in my life. Also, this cover, I really like this cover. I know it's not like a romance cover, but I feel like it delivers something that I don't see in romance fantasy covers. Like, I don't just want a sword and a crown, you know? Like, I want this. I want the Carissa Broadbent cover. Like, give me more. Then on June 13th, we of course have Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I'm popping this on here because I will probably read it. I still need to read Love on the Brain. But I will read it because, again, one of those things that's always in the zeitgeist at the end of the year. I try to read popular books so I can talk about them and have an opinion. This is Rival Physicist, and our heroine is a rent-a-girlfriend. And she ends up being a rent-a-girlfriend to a guy that could perhaps hinder her from getting to MIT. And it's a whole situation, and I just am really curious. I'm really curious how this is going to play out. I do love this cover. I think these covers, like the Ali Hazelwood illustrated covers, have been really good. They portray that they're romance inside. But yeah, I just think it's fun. I love the science settings also. And then last but not least, of course, is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. So I really enjoyed The Dead Romantics. I mean, I have it on my shelves. You know I liked it. And I'm curious about this one. I don't think I've read a ton of time slip books, so I will be curious to see what I think of this. So basically, this book publicist falls in love with her temporary roommate, but they're living 7 years apart. I just need to see how this works. So like, I'm curious at the very least. Will I love this? I don't know. I didn't think I'd like The Dead Romantics as much as I did, but here we are. So there's that. Like, I don't know. I might be very surprised by this, so we'll see. But yeah, that is everything on my radar for new releases in the next quarter. Obviously, this does not include any indie books that are coming out because it is so hard to know indie releases until a month ahead-ish, if that, if not weeks. So if you're looking for indie releases, be sure you go check out my friend Heather over at Booktubes. She does monthly releases. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let me know if you have any books you're looking forward to in the next 3 months. And if not, you can leave me a dragon emoji because we talked a lot, so much fantasy romance coming out, which is bonkers. I feel like we have been in a drought for fantasy romances, specifically traditionally published ones, for ages. And here we are. Freaking like 4 of them coming out in the next month. Next 3 months, not next month. So as always, I'll have links to all these books for you down below, as well as links to me, my friend, anywhere on the internet that I am, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye!
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we waited.